Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Today what we're going to be doing is working on the muscadine vines that we got in the ground a couple of months ago. And I know a lot of folks end up having a hard time trying to get that trellis in the ground. They know they need a trellis, but they just trying to coordinate or trying to find a deal, whatever it might be. So today we're going to show you exactly how you can go ahead and get your muscadines in the ground, which we did a couple months ago, and prepare them for a trellis, get them growing appropriately, and then actually buy yourself some time. So you don't necessarily have to do a trellis right now. You will need one, I would say, within the first year, depending on how strong of vines you have. But for the most part, you can do this and save yourself probably 6 months if your time is just tight, that kind of thing. But you still want to be on the plan. Don't just say, I'm going to do it, and then it be 5 or 6 years later, like we have a few projects doing too. So enjoy today's video, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Dean Family Acres.
Alright guys, today we're going to be working on getting up some of these muscadine vines like we should have done a few months ago, but honestly if we had done that, then the deer probably would have eaten them to the ground. Now that we got that fence up, we're going to work on it. So we'll see exactly what we've got since we don't have the trellis up over here yet. And I've got the harness on, hopefully be able to let you guys see some work in action. We'll see how it works out. These are the varieties that we planted last in the row up here in the upper yard that are, let's see, fry seedless, Pam, and sweet mix. So overall, they're growing pretty well, but I just got them in the ground and did not do much to them other than fertilize them a few times and pull some weeds. The deer have done some pruning. So now that we've got the deer fence up, let me show you that. Now we've got this up. The netting, honestly, I think has been a waste. Other than maybe just them crawling or something, I still think it might be a waste. But the electric, I think, is the key. And honestly, I've added a couple strands since they busted through. And hopefully we will be able to keep them at bay. So let me show you exactly what we've got here, what we're thinking from when we planted, and you know what our plans are for the future, at least right now. All right, so I'll just do some handheld here while we get you on the harness in a second. So post will go here straight up. Post on that far end there, enough room for 3 plants here. This is the fry seedless. It has been nipped back pretty hard. You can see it was growing really well and they nipped every leaf off of it. So I've done a little bit of making sure the extra shoots don't go everywhere. Same here with the Pam. You can see we've got stuff growing everywhere, so I'm gonna get this cane up, the bamboo shoot, and I'm gonna tie it up. I've got some ties to tie it up, and now that the deer are pretty much, hopefully, gonna be on the outskirts. And then this is sweet mix. You can see here again, it's growing everywhere. I've cleaned out most of the weeds. That's fertilizer on the ground down there. But overall, it's grown really well. If I had not left this kind of overgrown, the deer probably would have eaten it to the ground. So although it looks like a hot mess and it should have been up pruned to 1 liter, I think I'm doing all right considering the situation. So let me put you in hand mode, or in the harness mode, I guess, and we'll see exactly how things go with letting you guys see what I'm doing. Yeah, what I'm doing here. Got my hammer, got my cane pole there, and honestly, I'm just gonna be putting this, I know I can go upside down, but I'm just gonna go like that right there. And honestly, I brought a hammer out here, but I don't know that I need it. A little bit there. That might get it gone a little straighter. It will. It'll be all right. See if I can straighten out that second one a little better. All right, that definitely turned out a little bit better. And I do not have one for the fry seedless just because it has not grown enough. We'll get one of those out here soon. Figure out exactly what we got that's growing here versus not, and prune back everything else. This is the most direct, but man, it is all over the place here. It is putting on some growth there though. We'll go with that one. Prune off all the rest. And I usually do leave a little bit of a stump because a lot of times it will want to kind of die back on you. You don't want to put it right next to it. Just you can rub these off or just pinch them back to one leaf. See if we can get our tie out here. Get this tied up first. One good thing about this stuff is that it does stretch pretty good. It lasts pretty decent. And it will eventually break. It might be a little sturdier than you want it to be, but all right, one. One good thing about these cane poles or bamboo poles is that you can kind of get them to go somewhat straight versus the string that they got to grab onto, especially when they're a little older than they should be. And since we've been having the deer pressure, I'm actually going to put one more tie just to hold it against my stake here. All right, so what do you guys think about that? Hopefully one of these two at the top will take off. I'll prune this back here in just a second. All right, on to the sweet mix. Blooming already. I'll just leave a little bit of that growth on there. We'll see if we can't get these tied up. I tend to want to start from the bottom and work my way up. Oh. We'll see which one of these actually take off. And honestly, if both of them take off, that's pretty close to height of a trellis. So we might just let those take off going each direction, but we'll see how they do. All right, guys, so hopefully this has made some sense in regards to us getting these muscadines trellised and up, or actually up on a post. And if you don't have your trellis up, this is a great option so that you can have them up off the ground, not getting damaged, and then you can come back and do your trellis later. It might grab you about an extra 6 months before you get up that trellis. Like I said, that's going to go the hole right there and all the way down, and we'll get some T-posts up too. So I priced some posts and almost stroked out. And if you haven't noticed, I've got the kind of the green treated post down on this end, and then the brown ones up here on this end. So I kind of want them to match. I know that doesn't necessarily matter for sure, but at a minimum I want both green. But I priced them and they were going to be like, goodness, I forget what it was, mid-20s per post. And I'm like, man, I've gotten most of these other ones off marketplace deals, or people just getting rid of their fencing, and it's just hard for me to pay that much for one post. So my goal, I found one guy on marketplace that's got some old telephone poles, so that's my goal, is to go get some from him. He does charge extra for the green, but hopefully it'll still be okay and will be a discounted rate. So do appreciate each and every one of y'all watching today as we got those muscadine vines up on a stick or central area to hold them up out of the ground. To buy yourself some extra time if you're having a hard time figuring out what to do with the trellis. Again, it can buy you probably 6 months to a year, something like that. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, don't forget to ring that bell like. That's right, Mike Tyson did in the 1980s. Thanks so much, guys. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed one. Hey guys, it's August the 10th, and I just want to give you an update about how these vines are doing. I know I've shown this before, but definitely I think it's in my shoe. All right, definitely wanted to just give you guys an update since we showed you how we actually got around not doing a trellis and how well this has worked this year. I've done this before, and I think my downfall, honestly, is no watering system. I think the deer fence and watering system are the big game changers, but we do have some growth. So let me show you exactly how things are going. here on these that we put in without the trellis. So you can see here, essentially, right here's the hole, straight down to just before that crepe myrtle is where the main other pole will go. And we're finally getting some growth. And I don't know what this stuff was. I'm not one to spray. I know some guys will spray no matter what. And I guess if you are gonna spray, now's the best time because you don't have any fruit on it. But I don't know what this is, but this definitely doesn't like it. And it just doesn't put on a lot of growth. You see kind of from where just previously in this video where we kind of pruned that back and it just kind of bumped out and never did anything. But we finally are getting a trunk there, and we've got a little bit here. I've tried to keep it pinched off the best I can. But that is Sweet Mix. This is Pam, and I've been really surprised. Pam just hadn't put on a whole lot. Got a little bit of growth here, so I've kind of left it just trying to make sure that we get some growth on these two vines as we put that stake in. And that bamboo pole, at least this one, is probably, I'd say about 5 foot, so we might have about 4 foot, but that's where we pruned it. Like legit, it didn't hardly done anything. And I know I've got a lot of grass around it. I've done like I've done on my other vines. I kind of put a little bit of dead grass around, and so it's not right up on it, and it's not the greatest, but it also does not have the growth. And I honestly think it's because it's no watering on here. When we planted this late fry in 2022, it was kind of similar, and I finally put a stake next to it, and it's putting on a little bit of growth, but it is not looking very happy. You can see that there. I know I showed y'all just a couple of weeks ago how everything was going. Black Beauty, getting a few to start darkening up. For the most part, those aren't ready yet. This is Supreme, the one that the deer just completely ripped down. It is recovering, getting a few, getting close. Ooh. We have one. Oh, this was not gonna be a Supreme picking video, but tomorrow. Yeah, I think tomorrow. Stay tuned. We'll have a short this week. We'll pick a Supreme. But you can see they're loaded up pretty good considering this is second year. Looking pretty well. And Ruby Crisp, looking great. You do want to be careful. Don't let Ruby Crisp overcrop. And in my opinion, for a Ruby, that's a ripe Ruby Crisp. You see on the edge there versus this is completely purple pretty much all the way to the center, and it's got a little bit, I don't know if y'all can see that, but just a little bit of give to it. And that's how you know those are ready. Came out here one day this week after all that rain and ended up grabbing one that had a bee on it. Thankfully it didn't get me, but see there, that one's got a little bit of green. So you just got to kind of pay attention. I'll come back out here later and try and pick a few to enjoy. There you go, that's a good one. See that? Just a little bit of give versus those other ones a little bit hard. More Ruby Crisp here. You can see how much this thing is sagging because of how much it's got on it. And in honesty, that might be a future video. We're going to talk about that too.